The CHIKUMA has 2 guns more at a total of 8 main batteries versus the 6 the Chester has. And while the Japanese cruiser has slightly less damage per shell, due to the layout of the guns, it can unleash salvos of 5 compared to the maximum 3 shots per salvo the Americans can do. This is countered by giving it a lower rate of fire at 5 shots per minute versus the 7.5 the Americans have, but a few good salvos can really bring the pain to the enemy, and from experience, it just somehow felt better. It is also worthwhile mentioning that the CHIKUMA has a 1 km longer maximum firing range at 10.3 km, so it will be able to get the first shot off many times. Now you actually have some armor as well, though don't think you are a battleship just yet. You have up to 40 mm of armor here and there, which is a definite improvement over the maximal 19 mm of the Chester, especially as the fully upgraded health pool of the two ships is almost identical. While secondary armaments and AA capabilities don't play a huge role at this tier yet, for the sake of completion, we have to mention as well that the CHIKUMA has it slightly worse with the secondary guns, as it has only 4 76mm guns compared to the 6 guns on the Chester. AA guns look quite different as well. The Japanese cruiser has 2 6.5mm guns, while the Americans have 1 76mm AA gun mounted. They both have a top speed of 26 knots, which is not super amazing, but this time it's the Japanese one that's slightly less agile, with a turning circle of around 800 meters, and that's 40 meters more than its American counterpart. Visibility is rather similar as well, with it being spotted already at 9.2 kilometers away from sea, 5.2 kilometers away from the air. It's probably worth to mention that the CHIKUMA has a slightly higher chance of causing fires with its HE shells at 10%. Regarding upgrades, well, it has very few things you have to worry about. You need a hull upgrade, giving you 4 additional main guns, to continue to the next tier of cruisers, and you will need the fire control upgrade with the usual 10% firing range to get to the Kawachi battleship. As both upgrades cost so few experience, at least now in the closed beta, I see absolutely no reason why you wouldn't want to max it out to get the best experience out of the few games you will play in this ship. So how does all this translate into actual gameplay? Well, it's fun, and I enjoyed it overall slightly more than I did the Chester, but it's still not a ship you will play for long. The upgrades are easily maxed and it will not wow you at the end of the day, while the first battleship already awaits at tier 3. The one thing you have to watch out for is anything that's higher tier than you. Still, it can be fun for the time being, and I can hopefully show you just that in this next gameplay. Alright, so here we are in the CHIKUMA. It will be a domination battle, and looking at the team lineup, it seems that there will be a lot of tier 3 cruisers sailing along. And as usual, unfortunately these days, there are shitloads of destroyers in the water. So that means we really have to watch our back for torpedoes, especially as the CHIKUMA is a very slow ship, 26 knots only. And well, let's just say it's about as nimble as a CV. So we won't be able to dodge them if we only catch the torpedoes when they are already at close range. So I will try to stick to these cruisers here to the right, who are going around the Cap Circle C. And there is already the first customer. He is in range. We have a maximum range of just over 10 kilometers, but at the moment he is behind cover. Okay, there is an enemy destroyer as well. Okay, it seems there will be quite a lot of action going on at this side of the map. Now I have HE loaded, because I anticipated to meet up with a lot of the destroyers right in the beginning, but as there are, I think, about 3 cruisers in this sector, I'm reloading AP to do more damage to them. And that didn't do much. I think that was a hit, it just didn't penetrate. Okay, that's more like it. It didn't do much. And that cruiser is just sneaking away behind that island. But we will soon be in a position to take shots at these guys as well. We just really have to be really careful about the destroyer. There's a smoke screen up. Now there are a lot of smoke screens up, so torpedoes should be expected. By the way, look at the amount of the torpedoes in the water. It's a nightmare. Okay, I think we follow that fellow cruiser going around the island. He will be the first to pop up, and that was not good enough. So unfortunate. Whoops! Someone made a mistake. Not in the best of positions. So as I was saying, the enemy cruiser is the first to come around this island, so hopefully he will draw the attention of the enemy. And this smoke screen is just about finished, and the destroyer is not here anymore, so that's good. So that means we can just go and lay down the pain. This enemy cruiser, I think, I might be mistaken, but I think that's one of the enemy St. Louis ships. And that was not really my best shots ever. And he's gone. Great. So this part of the map is a bit safer. But the enemy has taken 2 out of 3 cap circles, so it's less than ideal. These fast-moving destroyers, you always have to aim even more than that. Before that, we just got at the end of it, but we still have AP loaded, so that's not ideal. I should be reloading here to HE. And we have to watch out, there is also a destroyer sneaking around in the Cap Circle C. Just have to wait, will he run aground? Oh shit, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not watching my flank for a second, and this is what happens. He's a bit stuck at the end of the edge of the map. And yeah, it's not aimed well enough. We have to lead about 1.5 times this reticle when firing at destroyers moving at their top speed, unless we are really close. You see, even here, we have to move all the aim still before the ship, and he's already within around 5 kilometers away from us. He's turning. Finally we reload HE. Jesus, that took a while. Firing blind, and that was a good hit. But he is now inside the smoke screen, and he will lay low for sure. So that means we should be turning our back on him. Going broadside against it is just an invitation for torpedoes. Will also be much more easier to dodge them if he eventually fires. So he got away. In the meantime, although we are still... Oh, there he is. Turn back. We have to try to finish him. We can't leave this guy sitting on our backs. Good, that was a good one. He's on fire. He's now sideways, so torpedoes could be incoming.
Our team has taken the lead.
At this stage I just really want to get him. He has now all kinds of troubles. Yes! There we go. Excellent. So, one bastard less we have to worry about. It's also another destroyer just in range, but at this distance I have almost zero chance to hit him. Oh, there was one more torpedo. So maybe there were actually 2 of these bastards hiding in the smoke screen. And that does not look bad. Oh, so unlucky. Should have been able to finish that guy off. It was not a bad shot. But you have to see, you have to really aim a lot in advance for these guys. Where are you? We take a completely blind shot. And we miss. I have no idea where this guy could be. At this stage he could be pretty much anywhere. And the game looks now a whole lot better. We have a definite lead in terms of ships, and we have now taken possession 2 of the cap circles, and we are decapping the 3rd one. And soon we will be able to shoot just in between the islands on this enemy cruiser.